Hey there, class. Mr. E here, and it is a great pleasure to welcome you to my digital unit resource website for the next unit we're going into, which is Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. So we're going to be discovering and learning how we can connect Pride and Prejudice and Jane Austen and her many books and the many messages that she implemented inside of her books into today's current society, as they are very relevant to today's society as well. As you can see, the title of my website is Mr. Esquer's English Eau de Vie. For those of you who do not speak French, or you do not know culinary lingo, as I do, Eau de Vie translates to water of life. And if you know anything about me at all, I consider knowledge to be something that we need to survive and to live off of. Much like food. That's a creme brulee, by the way. As you can see by each of the pages on my digital unit resource, I've put a different kind of food, or vegetable, or fruit, or dessert. That looks good. Oh my god, ramen. And I did this so that it wouldn't seem as serious, and also so it'd make you hungry for knowledge. Happy Halloween, everyone. Belated Halloween. I want you to be hungry for knowledge and hungry for English as well. I know it can be difficult and complicated due to its intricacies, but it's still a very integral part of your education, and it's very, very fun, at least for me. Alright, so let me start this off by talking about the first thing we're going to do in this unit, which is going to be a lecture on Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. So in this lecture, which I have prepared a PowerPoint for, we will go over Jane Austen herself, talk about her very, very briefly, about her family life, her early life when she was writing the books, what the society was like when she was writing the books, and other things as well that affected her life and affected how her books were written, and why she also wrote the books she wrote the way she wrote them. The other thing we're going to do is we're going to be going over Pride and Prejudice by itself too, going over characters, themes that are within it, going over the social norms within it, how it connected to, and its historical context, how Jane Austen connected to the Georgian era and the Regency era, and we're also going to be going along, while we do the notes as well, you're going to be going along, and I have provided presentation notes that you guys can go off of and follow along while you're doing the notes as well, so that you're not just simply sitting there and copying down every slide, because there's no point in that, and there's more information that there's there, and I'd rather you write it down, because if you write something down, especially if you're writing in pencil, you're more likely to remember it, because you had to work to put it on that paper. So this is the first thing we're going to be doing and diving into. We're going to be going into this introductory lecture on Pride and Prejudice. And you are more than welcome to refer back to this PowerPoint, this lecture, at any time. It will continue to be up afterwards as a resource for your later assignments. Now that I'm talking about later assignments, I'm going to go ahead and go into one of the more fun assignments that I created for you guys. Which is a choice board. Now, this choice board is kind of like bingo, but also kind of like tic-tac-toe. So you guys get a choice. And this is completely based on Bloom's each of the assignments that I created for you is based on Bloom's taxonomy for higher thinking. So these are going to be testing some good things, but trust me, they are fun. So the rules you have to go by are like tic-tac-toe or like bingo. They have to be in a row of some sort. So you have to either do the top row, all three of those, or you get to go middle row, all three of those, bottom row, all three of those, horizontally, vertically, and you can go diagonally as well. As you can see by the big, giant, beautiful green free space, I have provided a free space in the middle of these other 8 options. I provided this free space because I want you guys to have the opportunity to choose something that you created to really go into and have fun with. I provided a lot of different other fun activities as well, and very enriching activities, and they're a lot more different than just a normal English class and writing essays all the time. There is going to be a lot of writing in this unit, but it's not crazy. Trust me. So the free space has rules with it, though. So the rule is you can either choose any of the other 8 activities on the choice board, or that aren't in a row with you, or you can propose your own well thought out activity to me, and we'll discuss it, and I'll put some guidelines out there for you for what I would want to see from it. Some of the other ones that I have provided for you, which I think are really, really fun. The first one, I thought it was just kind of a genius thing to do. So I'm going to have you on the top row in the left-hand corner. This first one right here. I'm going to have you choose any character from Pride and Prejudice. This is obviously after we've read it or during we're reading it. This isn't going to be for a while, but it's still going to be really fun when it happens. So you're going to choose a character from any character from Pride and Prejudice, then create a 25-plus song playlist on Spotify based on that character. Then write a 2-paragraph summary justifying your song choices. This isn't going to be crazy detailed, but I do want your reasoning. I want you to be creative. I want you to add songs. Like, why is that in there? Why that genre? Explain it a little bit. And I thought that would just be a really, really fun. And plus, creating a playlist, that's really cool. Another one is going to be choosing this one in the bottom middle is choose a passage from the book and translate it into modern idiomatic speech. What I mean by that is common tongue, common lingo, meaning slang. Like, yo, dog, let's go. Like, what's up? Like that kind of stuff. Okay? Like, we're gonna go into that. Like, how you guys normally speak to each other. Now, there are no curse words or no vulgarity, so don't even try me on that. Okay? And then what you're going to do is you're going to read your translation of that passage in front of the class. A little daunting, but I am a firm believer in performance as a way of learning. As honestly, it's an alternative way, and I honestly think it's a little more useful. Now, speaking of performance, let's talk about one of the final assignments. Ooh, breakfast. Ooh. So this final assignment is going to be something that I love very, very dearly, which is spoken word poetry. So at the end of the unit, I'm going to have you create in 2 steps. Create your own spoken word poetry, and you're not going to post it in front of you're not going to perform it in front of the class unless you would rather do that, and unless there's some parental guidelines that are preventing you from posting a video of yourself online. We'll talk about that assessment that hurdle when we come to it. But you're going to choose a character and a connecting theme from Pride and Prejudice to write about. You're going to write a script, and you're going to write a spoken word piece from the point of view of that character and perform it. But you're going to perform it in this second step. So you're going to create a YouTube channel. I'm a firm believer in everyone has things they do, and YouTube is, in this current age, has been a viable job choice for a lot of people, especially a lot of young people. And I figure what better way to connect with you youth than to use YouTube, something you're on anyway all the time. So what you're going to do is you're going to record yourself performing this spoken word piece. Doesn't have to be big movements or anything. That's not what spoken word's really about. Hand gestures, yes. Animation and voice, yes. But you're going to perform it and record yourself and post it on YouTube. And then we're going to watch all of these in class. Obviously, there's a giant rubric for this. And I believe this is going to be a lot of fun. It's something very different. It's something that is very engaging, and I want to keep you guys engaged as much as possible, especially in one of these books that speaks a different language than most of us do. And I think being able to really delve deep into those characters and be able to speak for them in a different way, I think that's really important for understanding a book and understanding its messages and understanding its themes. Now, speaking of the book itself, I do have some useful links which are posted on a tomato vine. Look at them. All those useful links. Each one of those tomatoes, delicious, juicy. So I've posted a lot of these links and some videos for you to check out. By far, one of my favorite ones is the Jane Austen website, which is janeausten.org, this is the link right here. And this website is a giant compilation of information about Jane Austen. The other great thing about this website is, and I'm just going to show you, is that you can look at all of the books that she wrote and read them for free online. Isn't that just great? So, if you have the case that you can't go buy the book, or you can't find the book, or something like that, then this is the resource that you would be using most of the time. It has the exact translation that I have, which is by Penguin Books. The exact, not translation, the exact wording and everything, and goodness of that. So you will have no trouble keeping up. And it can be accessed on the phone, which will be another thing entirely, and we will talk about phone use in class when this comes up. But don't take advantage. Okay? This is a good resource for you guys. So, really quickly, talking about the unit, talking about the book, I wanted to go over the standards that we're going to be covering throughout this unit. A lot of the California content standards. We're going to be going over the reading standards for literature for 11th and 12th grade, which you guys are in, presumably. So there's going to be a lot of reading standards. Obviously, we're going to be reading the novel throughout the class. We're going to be reading together in class. We're going to be reading it outside of class. I'm going to be asking you questions, doing quick writes. We're going to have a lot of fun at this, trust me. We're also going to be referring back to the movie a lot. I'm not going to lie. Well, the movies, the different translations of those, because those are different translations, and they are different takes on this wonderful book. So, we're covering California's content standards for reading in 11th and 12th grade, writing, obviously, and speaking and listening. As I am having you guys perform a lot of these pieces, there's a lot of performance in this, but there's also a lot of discussion that's going to be happening between you guys. Now, each of the assessments, let's go back to the assessments really quick. So, if you go all the way to the bottom, you will see this format right here. And this is where you're going to be submitting all of your assignments. So your assignments are going to be being submit here. See? Submit assignment here. You're going to submit this. You're going to submit the assignment you complete. There's another assignment, graphic organizer. It's going to be fun. To the website, and so I can check it off for you guys. And that way, this whole unit is just here together. Ooh, look at that pasta. Now, there's also questions on the What is English page. I've explained what English is, what it means to me, and its kind of origins. And this beautiful TED Talk talks about the origins of English and how English has created over the course of many, 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 many years. And then I've also provided two of my favorite spoken word pieces by Sarah Kay and Phil Kay. Collectively, they're not related, and explains in another video, but that's a different story. And this will give you a good idea of what a spoken word piece is, and it's really very much inspiring and great. So, I hope that this unit will be very enriching for you and very fun for you, and it won't be boring. I did my darndest to make it as interactive as possible. You can always reach me here. Here's my contact info where you can reach me. Call me, beat me if you want to reach me. If you know the reference, you might get an extra credit. I don't know. I'm just saying. But yeah, so I really hope that you have enjoyed this little showcase of my digital unit resource. I hope it made you hungry, because honestly, it's made me hungry. Ooh, that breakfast looks good. So does that avocado toast? Yes. But yeah, so this is the website. You guys will have full access to it. And I hope you have a good rest of your day and go eat something delicious. Bye.